Hello, and welcome to the Collapse Experiment. So, a few days ago, Tim Pool said, or I should say, he put out a poll asking the question, should I sue the person who's been defaming me on the internet? There's a lot of assumptions as to who it is that he's going to be suing. Usually one name is brought up, but nobody is pointing the finger at the very, very obvious person who Tim is going to be suing. He said yesterday that he had been talking to lawyers, and Cenk Uygur, you really should be talking to a lawyer because, when you don't have a dick in your mouth, you're definitely putting your foot in it. So, yes, 100% I believe, and I would put money on this. I'm sorry, Tim Pool is not going to be putting up with being called a pedophile. Why is he not going to sue Adam? Because Adam didn't say anything that wasn't true. He may have been off on a few details. My brother never sued me. No, your brother just ran a GoFundMe to raise money to sue you. There was a process that was started, perhaps not in the court, but your brother was going to sue you. So, was Adam wrong about that? Yes and no, and nobody really gives a shit. The point is, your brother was pissed off at you and wanted to talk to a lawyer, or did talk to a lawyer, about suing your dumbass. So, yeah, Adam was technically not wrong, but wrong about being sued by his brother. Tim Pool being sued by his brother. Cenk Uygur, on the other hand, from the Young Turks, called Tim Pool a pedophile. Said that he supported pedophiles. Said that Republicans and conservatives, which Tim Pool does not claim to be either, claimed that they were obsessed with pedophiles because they're pedophiles, and threw Tim Pool in that same category. What is fascinating is the fact that if you look at the clip that the Young Turks put out, where they're making all these derogatory comments about Tim Pool, Anna Kasparian herself had to step back when she realized, oh shit, I just said there's going to be an all-age drag show the following day. Fuck, what am I going to do? So she steps back and she says, what adults want to do is their own business. We're talking about adult sex lives here, blah, blah, blah. It was adults who were killed. Completely ignoring the fact that this club was going to be having an all-age drag show for little kids to go to and put dollars in the bikinis of chicks with dicks. So, yeah. They really didn't want to talk about that, which was the whole point of what Tim brought up and became mainstream news afterwards. Credit to Tim on that one. I've been a little harsh on Tim regarding his personal life. And looking back, yes, I understand that COVID, the lockdowns, was a very stressful time. Who knew what the fuck was going to happen? People took drastic measures. You look at movies. There's one in particular, I can't remember the name of it. I think it was called The Fall. About the last days of Germany in Berlin. And they knew the Russians were coming. They knew the Americans were on their way. Things started to fall apart. Hitler's in the bunkers trying to turn the war around, which is fucking futile. He kept asking for different units, and the generals were like, they were wiped out. We don't know what to do. And meanwhile, throughout the city. There's pillaging, rampaging, fucking orgies happening. If you want to do it because you're probably going to die tomorrow. I kind of feel like COVID, the lockdowns were a more toned down version of that. Because we didn't know COVID wasn't going to kill everybody, but there was the possibility. So yeah, perhaps things happen that shouldn't have happened. Things did things. People did things because who knew what tomorrow was going to bring. Fauci's scaring the shit out of everybody. And so anyways, back to the story. Tim Pool is 100% Cenk Uygur and the Young Turks. They're getting a fucking lawsuit. And it's going to be glorious. Because, this is something that Tim had been talking about on his show for a while. When the news media makes a false statement with absolutely nothing backing it, can they sue? This is something that he had been curious about for a while. And now he has his opportunity to go after somebody who's been a complete dickbag to a lot of people. Cenk Uygur is a fucking asshole. I have no problem saying that whatsoever. He has no problem throwing people under the bus, alive or dead. He's talked shit about Tim Pool. He's talked shit about an awful lot of other people. He talked shit about Michael Hastings after the man was dead, claiming that the guy was high on methamphetamines and maybe he deserved what was coming to him. Dies in a fiery car accident. The day that follows, he's like, he was one of us. He was an awesome journalist. I talked to him several times. He was a great guy. And then, the autopsy comes out showing that he had amphetamines in his system. And as a journalist, obviously Cenk doesn't use things like Ritalin or Adderall, but it's very hard to use those things and be 50 to 100 pounds overweight. But, for people who are actually pursuing stories, working long hours, doing 16, 18-hour days, trying to pull in a paycheck, people like Michael Hastings, yes, things like Adderall are almost a necessity, and they learn about this shit in college. Oh, can't get your paper done? You gotta have 12 pages written, proofread, corrected, all the details and references in the back of the page. Oh, and you've only got, let's see here, 16 hours to do it? What the fuck are you gonna do? Dude, I got some pills for you. So yeah, Cenk Uygur, complete douchebag. I am looking forward to this one. And is it official? People are gonna be like, well, do you have any proof? No, I don't. I just follow Tim Pool. I follow the news. It's funny that when Tim said, his phone goes off the day after Thanksgiving. Was it the day after Thanksgiving or was it the day after that? It was the day after Adam did his post. And he's on there and his phone goes off and he's like, oh, you guys are going to love this. Oh my God, who I'm going to have on. Oh. And he starts talking about like Mars and shit. And it wasn't even Elon Musk. It was Kanye. Everybody assumed it was Kanye. Everybody's assuming that he's suing Adam. Oh no. Nope. He's going after the Young Turks. This has been a beef that's been going on for a while. It's going to be amazing. They're not going to know what the fuck to do. They're probably going to try to settle out of court. Because odds are, with the way things are going on, how big the Young Turks are, what their budget is, what they're pulling in, what they're paying themselves, I have a feeling Tim doesn't pocket as much money as he could with the business. I think a lot of it goes back into the business, which means the business itself likely has more funds than the Young Turks do. And that's pretty amazing. The Young Turks have been around for a while. They're established. They have their following. They have their news stories. You know, they're promoted by YouTube like you wouldn't believe. And so I think it's freaking hilarious that somebody like Tim Pool now has the funds, the means, the opportunity to go after an organization like the Young Turks who, like the rest of mainstream media, is just falling apart. So, yeah, Cenk Uygur, you may want to be talking to a lawyer, because I have a feeling Tim's coming after your ass. Maybe you shouldn't be running around calling people pedophiles. You know, it's not one of those labels that easily disappears once it's established, regardless of whether it's true or not. You can ruin people's fucking lives. So, Cenk, stop being a douche. Take a vacation. Go become an alcoholic or do whatever it is that you guys like to do. Well, let's see here. I mean, it is the Young Turks. Do they imbibe in alcohol? Go puff on a hookah. You know, I think that's probably culturally safe to say. Take up some type of hobby. Go bang Anna. You know you've been wanting to for a while. So, yeah. Cenk, call a lawyer. You're going to need one. Keep on typing, biatch.